Hi, this is Kathy, and this is an intraday harmonic scenario for ES. The initial test of this bearish shark PRZ, 1926.50 to 1940, did come back and retrace its ideal minimum. Now, ideal targets from sharks after sharks are completed are the halfway back, which is a 5-0, or 100%. Failure to get there always implies a retest of the PRZ. Now price is back inside the PRZ, so whichever way it breaks and holds first will give us a clue as to whether it's going to seek the extreme shark PRZ targets up to 1971, or if it's going to have another attempt to complete that 5-0. Now here's another thing that is in the works. As long as price does not get up to 1943.75, we have an emerging head and shoulders, right? I like confluence in that the neckline is in correlation with this golden ratio zone. It's a weekly sword line. It's also the ideal minimum retracement of that bearish shark. And also the head and shoulders targets, if that is the breakdown point, is going to correlate with a 78.6 and an 88.6 retracement of that shark. So those are just things to point out. Of course, if it gets up to this 1943.75, the right shoulder will be the same as the head, and I'll just eliminate that. If price is able to hold above that 43.75, I'm going to look for this extended PRZ. 1971 is a monthly sword line as well as the extreme for the shark. The extreme, okay? There's always a possibility that it could breach it and test this gray zone, 1982.25, or even the gap at 1986. But what's going to be important at that juncture is if it does breach it, does it fall right back below it? Okay? If not, then we can have some upside continuation. But first things first, let's see which part of this PRZ is price going to break out first. Right now we do have an upside bias. It is expanded, and extended, so that implies a stall or a pullback into support. Profile wise, remember a couple of days ago we had that NR7 day? Well, we did have somewhat of an expansion day yesterday, but we really had our expansion day today. Okay, it's 162% of its annual average. So what's going on here is this yellow zone is very important. It's the initial separator of this area of acceptance, 1914 to 1905.50, and this 1939. Now, if price is able to get above that 1943.75, that's a familiar level, right? The neutral zone. Okay, it's also a composite low volume node, but if its price is able to get above there, it increases the probability of moving away from this acceptance area and seeking the higher acceptance areas, okay? So right now we're stuck in this area of value, which means it's stuck in a range. And it's not until price can get beyond one of these yellow zones initially does it attempt to move away from there, okay? So that's it for that. Very important support test. If price is able to go into retracement mode, it's going to be that 1889.75. Could breach it to test the bullish 5-0, 1873.25, but once price can break down this gray golden ratio zone, it increases the probability of testing the lower portions of the targets.